Been to Comic-Con, hope you speak my language. Your Harley Quinn don't need explaining. All I really need for you to do is just please talk nerdy to me.
What's going on, everybody? You are tuned in to another episode of Nearly Nerdy. Recorded live in the Slick Studios, Stony Creek, Ontario. As always, your hosts, AJ, James, a.k.a. Mr. J, Ricks, myself, Spads. Boys, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Let's get it going.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Nearly Nerdy. We got myself, Mr. J, and AJ tonight. Unfortunately, Mr. Ricks and Mr. Josh found some sort of pie eating contest somewhere, and they couldn't make it. They were hungry, so I don't blame them.
Pie eating. I wonder who won.
Pie. Write your comments below. Who you think took first place, Josh or Ricks?
Dun, dun, dun.
And we will find out later tonight. Don't kill me, Josh. So we got something to talk about tonight. I think it's this new show. What's it called?
Yeah, so tonight's going to be a decent show. We got, obviously, my little anime segment. We're going to be talking about, as well, American Gods. New show that just came out. It's about 3 episodes in.
3 deep.
Yeah, and it's a pretty interesting show so far. So definitely got a lot to talk about tonight.
Yep.
We got James on a little bit of the history of the characters, actually more so with the authors and stuff like that in the show. So it's great. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen, what we're going to talk about. And more so, let's get a little mic adjustment there. Just put it a little closer to your mouth.
Can you not hear me? Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just put it in
your
your mouth.
I can't see my phone in my notes.
Put it right in your mouth.
Oh, I can move it.
It's right in there.
All right. So...
All right, so we'll get things started. Last week I talked about a different anime, My Hero Academia, and judging by how nobody else is here except for me and James, I know James did not watch it, but it's no big deal. I'm sure that it was a pretty good, awesome show anyways, and anyone would probably have watched it regardless. So that was My Hero Academia. If you haven't checked it out, it's only one season, which is about 12 episodes so far, give or take 12, 13. Second season's out. Check it out. Really fun. My new segment, however, is going to be a very, very popular one that's been taking the world by storm over the last year. One Punch Man. One Punch Man is now available on Netflix with subtitles, so you can check that out in there. But it's about a character by the name of Saitama who basically trains so hard to be the best superhero in the world that his hair falls off. So he has no hair. He pretty much looks like a grown-up version of Caillou.
I thought that's what you were showing me. I thought you were showing me a picture of Kalu, training or something.
Yeah, no. It's
will Noah like this?
Yeah, no. Actually, if you go to the next picture, that's probably a better picture of him that I have. It's absolutely hilarious. He, like I said, he's a grown-up version of Caillou. There's even a remixed version of the song with him fighting a bunch of dudes on YouTube, destroying them. Yeah. But the show itself is pretty much exactly what he is, a one-punch man. He is so strong that any of his enemies that he tends to fight tends to die within a punch.
So, who do you think would win in a fight, Iron Fist or One Punch Man?
One Punch Man, easily.
Does his hand glow?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't need to have his hand glow. He's just that strong and just destructive.
That's not fun.
Put it this way. There's one episode that this guy sits there, and I'm trying to think of a really, really funny one that was just absolutely hilarious. What's a good one? Okay, so there's this weird mosquito lady that has a swarm of mosquitoes that's coming around and stuff like that, and he's been chasing this mosquito this entire time until it finally gets up to that lady. And anyway, she comes in and tries to attack him, and the minute she tries to attack him, he's like, "Oh, look, a mosquito." Whacks her with the back of his hand. She splatters all across the side of a building, and her head just goes flying. Yeah. And the best part about it is that he has no real superpower. He's just tremendously strong. And in one of the
he's on steroids.
No. He sticks to
that's why he went bald.
He sticks to a very, very structured regimen. Guess what that regimen is? 100, 200 push-ups a day, 100 to 2 sit-ups a day, 4K run, and making sure he's eating healthy.
No.
Watch this show, dude. You're going to love it. It's so stupid funny. It's hilarious.
Sounds ridiculous.
It totally is, but it's so good.
Is there funny punchlines?
There's so many good.
Does he make funny voices?
He doesn't even need to. He's an accidental hero for the most part. He ends up, there's sometimes where he actually chooses to be a hero. There's sometimes he's just moves his hand and accidentally kills somebody. And he's just oh, I'm sorry. My bad. So that's my next suggestion for this week. Next week, guys, we are not going to be here because we're going to be at Anime North. So this is my final segment for the anime suggestion. Unless people like it, we keep doing it. No problem. But yeah, let's get right into American Gods. James, you got a little bit of the backstory of the show. Let's go.
Yeah, so don't mind me. I am running on literally 3 hours sleep and about 4 coffees. So if my voice randomly changes, I doze off, or I fumble over my words, not my fault. I'm sorry. So basically, getting into it, we'll talk a little bit about where it came from, who created it, and what to expect. So basically, the creator, Neil Gaiman, is that right, Kelly? Gaiman? Yeah. Okay. Neil Gaiman. He first made his name as a writer of comics, most notably the Sandman series. Since then, he's gone on to be one of the most respected fantasy novelists ever. His stories are mostly stories about stories, and then they explore how stories can exist in the mind and take on a life of their own. Inception. So basically, when I looked into this and I read that, I was confused to all hell. But then once you start getting into the show, you really get a feel for that. They did a really good job kind of showing us how he does that. And I'll get into that in a second as well. So Gaiman will normally set his stories in a contemporary world, but weed in ancient myths and legends into it. So in his 2001 novel American Gods, Gaiman, I think you were showing me. Gaiman does just that exactly. He sets the story in a contemporary America, seen through the eyes of the protagonist Shadow Moon, who slowly pulls Shadow into the realm of stories that live and breathe the realm of gods, which is kind of cool. Shadow is led on a mission by Wednesday, one of the old gods. Wednesday hopes to join forces with the other old gods to take on the new gods who are attempting to wipe out the old gods from the minds of Americans, thus destroying them. And something really, really cool, if you look into the mythology and the background on this, there's a link to Odin and Thor.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely, yeah.
We'll get into as well. In the show, there's references to Odin, the hammer. There's a hammer that he wants to show him, the lightning, things like that. If you want a little bit more information, kind of where I got some of my stuff from, my reference was a YouTube video called American Gods Revealed, the mythology behind the gods. And it goes super hardcore into depth on the gods and the characters and stuff like that. And the mythologies behind it. Really, really cool video. Yeah. So that's pretty much what the story's about, or what the show's about. Watching it, we're 3 episodes deep now, and man, this show, I fucking kid you not, within even the first episode and a half, has more dream sequences than Batman v Superman. Blown away when I saw this. I'm like, I wonder what AJ's gonna have to say about this, because we all know how you feel when we bring that up. But at points I'm confused.
Batman Superman only had 2.
Well, still, whatever. How did you feel about the opening scene? Because I swear I had to look it up to see if the creators and the producers of Spartacus were actually behind this, because that opening scene, just the cinematography, I guess, and the angles and the blood and the slashing, exactly like Spartacus. I got excited right off the bat.
I felt more like Vikings, because Vikings is a current show they have right now, and it's very similar to that. It's
Fair.
all Norse.
I don't watch Vikings.
I don't watch it either, but it's very similar to it anyways. But it was confusing at first, because they had that scene come in. You see the whole aspect of what the one guy's doing just to get the wind god to give them wind to be able to allow them to sail back on, right?
Yeah, I feel if they just would have sat around and waited instead of killing each other, that would have came anyways.
Exactly. But that's the thing. Stupid. People of that time didn't understand that. They thought that if they sacrificed, if they killed someone, if they took a firstborn,
they
or
fucking jabbed each other's eyes out.
That was freaking crazy.
I was like, whoa, this show is trippy. What is going on here?
No, that was crazy. I did not expect that at all. He's I thought maybe they were just gonna burn each other.
No,
this
guy's bam, and then he jabs his own eye. What are you doing?
It's like the Dave Chappelle skit where he's just Sats,
Yeah.
Hats, and it's like I'll
Yeah.
burn your feet. Oh man, oh, but yeah, it was different. I mean, what's crazy is that they didn't even show who kept them on the beach. You know what I mean? Like the one dude walks
Yeah, you
up,
just saw the arrows.
and a ton of arrows takes down the one dude. The next guy takes a step, and
it
then
was
like another
Oliver
ton of
Queen.
arrows.
It was Liang. It was Liang Yu.
That was the.
It was Oliver. He
that
was
was the
target
island they're on.
practicing.
Yeah, it was a flashback.
After
for
5
Liang Yu.
years. Yeah, it's gonna be on Arrow next week.
Oh man. So yeah, that was trippy. And then like you have Mr. Wednesday, just like the way he is a salesman and a half. Holy crap, man! The
Sign
words.
this motherfucker.
What? Right? Yeah.
Hire him.
Seriously, like he needs to work for Glentel, like hands down. Right? Like put him in sales right there. Get him to sell real estate. Something. This man could just talk the pants off you. Like, geez.
Yeah.
It was going off. Like the way he was talking. It's like I wanted to buy what he was freaking selling. I have no idea what
And
it
that's
was,
the
but I
thing,
want it.
right? Like we're 3 episodes in now, hour apiece, and I'm still trying to figure out. So the most confusing thing out of everything is Shadow Moon, and why he hasn't asked what the fuck is going on right now. Like,
Well, he kind of has, but
he's
hasn't.
kind of asked, but like
He's
he's,
like, give
going
me a
along for the
clue.
ride. He's
Yeah.
man. Okay, so in one scene, this guy is beaten the shit out of and hung from a tree, left for dead.
Yep.
Out of nowhere, some sort of assassin comes around, chops all these bastards up.
Right?
So this guy is
We have
near
no clue
death
who that
like
is.
2-3 times, no clue. And this guy comes back to Wednesday and is like, "Yeah, okay. Oh, hold on. That's danger pay. We're gonna double your pay for this month." I'm like, what? Okay, no problem. I'm like, motherfucker, what is going on here? What am
man.
I doing? Like, why isn't he like? I'd be like, listen, man. Wednesday.
Yeah.
No, I am not doing anything else until you tell me what in the actual fuck is going on.
But you
Because-
realize that he would simply say to him, "That's not in the terms of the contract."
Yeah, well,
That was the mess up. Shadow Moon should have said, "I would like to know what I'm doing first before I."
well,
sign."
he's an ex-con, so
right. Like he
whatever.
just automatically
Like,
said, "Boom."
I don't know. Just as long as he doesn't go back to jail, he's happy.
Yeah.
But I forgot what I was gonna say because I'm like, again, I'm on autopilot right now.
I
so-
love that Irish guy. I don't know why.
the fucking
He was
leprechaun.
Yeah, he was
He
awesome.
was cool. That
he
fight
shows
scene?
up. Yo, he shows up. He's
So-
like, "I'm a leprechaun." And the guy's like, "You're a little tall to be a leprechaun." And he's like, "Well, I'm the leprechaun." Right?
I like the magic tricks in it.
everything, man. He's
The
pulling
coin
up
tricks.
coins and shit. He's like, "Shh."
Yeah.
The guy's just like, "What? You got all these coins stacked up?" He's like, "No, I pulled them out of thin air." I'm like, "This guy's fucking awesome."
Like really?
Please excuse my Irish accent. It's not real.
So they introduce briefly all these different gods, and this is what I don't understand, and maybe you can help me. So again, back to Shadow. He's a normal guy. What is so special about him that all these gods, new gods, old gods, want him specifically to work for them? What is it? What is going on? Does anybody know?
I think
Leave it in
his
the comments.
name seems very native. Like I think he probably.
Well,
has,
they
like,
mentioned that like his parents were hippies or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Guy has a name like Shadow Moon. I almost feel like that would be a perfect opportunity for him to, like, if he's a perfect like segue to be like, you know, you're part of an original, like, native tribe that used to honor a different set of gods that were even before us, kind of thing. You know, I don't know. I'm just drawing at straws here, but yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. We're probably gonna have to see some kind of relevance in the next episode or two to understand what's going on, because
There's
this is
gotta
just too
be.
much. This is like you get crammed with a whole bunch of Norse mythology, then you get African mythology or gods in there, and then you get Egyptian gods at some point, and then you get like I guess I want to say Catholicism, like Catholic gods at some point. Like you're getting like so many different types of faiths thrown at you and their beliefs that it's like I have no clue what the hell's going on. Right? And like I would even say a little bit of Scientology with the technological shit that's coming up right
yeah,
there, right? So it's
I feel like it's starting to drag though. Like this
Yeah.
third episode.
drag a lot.
Okay,
That's
so
what drag.
there's like this like what felt like an eternity like gay scene.
But you know what?
Explaining
Yeah.
kind of like it's just gay sex. And like he puts the flame in him, like
Yeah, but that
and
was,
that's their thing. I
yeah.
get it. I tried fast forwarding it, but I felt like it was excessive and took forever. And then you also have that African American woman, to be politically correct, who her
That
vagina swallows guys and
What
girls
the
and
hell?
whatever.
Wow.
She, yeah, that's her thing. But I feel like they brought her up too many times, and her entire like if you literally were to take the best of this character it's literally just a couple scenes of her having sex with people and swallowing them whole with her vagina, and there's nothing else to her.
We have
it's
no
not
understanding.
explained.
Like, it does kind of give
drags
a little bit that she's like an African goddess, because you see her walk into the museum and she looks at, I guess, what was her old jewelry that's sitting in that case. Right, because she sits there and pulls, like, I guess, like, you can see her kind of remember what it looked like when it was on her, as it kind of takes form and then kind of dissipates. So you're like, oh, okay, and then dissipates again. So that's the only thing I can take from that. At the end of the day, I was still confused because it's like, are you actually a goddess? Can you just give me a name? Could we have a subtitle that says this is the African goddess Nefertiti or some kind of freaking thing that's Egyptian, actually, more so? But anyways, I just need a damn African goddess name.
Yeah, like get fucking to it.
Yeah, right?
You know, like
we have
I'm
Mr. Wednesday.
3 hours deep here.
Yeah.
And I still don't really know what's going on.
I don't even know who Mr. Wednesday is. Like, there's some reference that he might be a Norse god, but it's not clear. Anybody watching this show and hasn't read the book is not going to understand this show, and they need to have some kind of clarity for these people who have never watched it, like us.
Some really cool scenes, though. Really cool scenes. Some cool characters. So if you've watched Prison Break, what's his name in the show? He was like a mob boss in season 1. John, what was his character's name? I can't remember.
Talk about the Russian guy?
Maybe was he Russian?
Well, the brother, right? The brothers of
No. God damn, I said it earlier. Anyways, he's in it. You'll recognize him. Really, really good actor. They have this really cool scene where they're playing checkers, and it's literally he wants to smash his head in with a hammer and kill him if he loses.
Talking about that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Russian, but he's also in, I swear...
He's actually Swedish, believe it or not. I looked it
up.
Oh,
okay.
Unbelievable.
I swear he's also in, isn't he not in Arrow in, like, the first season?
He's in Arrow. He's in a lot of things. He was in Jurassic World.
Yes, he was.
But
he generally plays like some kind of Russian mob.
Yeah, really cool character. But he gives this ultimatum because Wednesday tries to recruit him as an old god to go take on these other people. He doesn't want to do it. So he challenges Shadow Moon into checkers, and Shadow Moon's like, "Man, I've been in jail. I played this for however long he was in there. I think it was like 5 years or something, 3 years." He ends up beating him. So he was set to smash his head in with this huge hammer that he used to smash cows' heads in with.
Oh, that's that little gun that he has. That's like weird. It goes to the head.
No, they were saying that was the new way that they do it now.
Oh,
so anybody can do it or whatever. So Shadow loses this game of checkers, sleeps on it. He's supposed to get his head smashed in the morning because he misses killing people with this or killing things with this. And then he ends up going up to the rooftop to get some air or whatever, and then meets his other sister or whatever. She gets him to look at the moon, takes it, turns it into a coin. That's his now protection.
That was fucking trippy. She's like, here, just take the moon.
Swear,
pulls it into a coin.
If you dabble in, marijuana or something,
any type of narcotics, you dabble in this, and
you
you're
watch
watching
this
the
show, you're tripping out.
Yeah, man. At some points,
crazy.
It feels like you dropped acid watching this, and I don't know the experience, but I feel like if this
I
was
feel like
it,
that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Because there's so much things that are happening that it's like, what just happened? Wait, why are we floating on Why is there a car driving on marshmallows? Why? What is the relevance to this? Wait, that's a bison with fire eyes. What the hell? A tree just smacked this dude. I can't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
The ceiling just opened up to see his wife. What the hell?
Yeah, and that's just what the creator wants this show to be, and that's how he wants his books to be. He just wants you thinking, and it's crazy. I just hope that they slow down with the with dragging scenes on for too long, in my opinion. Because, maybe it was because it was 4 a.m. and I was really tired and just wanted to sleep, but couldn't. That made it feel like it was longer. But if you agree with me and you watched it today or yesterday or whatever, or today? Yeah, you went.
I watched it
You left
today,
work. Yeah. And watched it. So I'm glad that it wasn't just me. But if they can manage to do that and start explaining things, I hope they just don't start introducing too many characters. Because if it takes an entire season just to get this out of the way, then I'm probably gonna stop watching. Maybe.
I know that's why I can't deal with that, because like you watch, like, I don't mind Shadow Moon. He looks like a pretty awesome guy. Like that.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty cool character.
With the Irish dude, that was pretty sweet.
That was wild.
Oh, that was an intense scene. I
loved it. I'm like, this guy's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
He's getting a shit kicking, and he's sitting there laughing like, ha, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, this guy's the man, right? So
I love it. But I guess that's almost like a test to see how strong he really is, right?
Yep.
And then it also seems like as though they're trying to slowly insinuate that he might end up getting some kind of powers that like the other ones do.
Shadow?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Like I would like
I think it's cool that like he went after him for his coin because he lost his luck. So like after Shadow gets John Abruzzi, that's his name from Prison Break.
There you go.
That was it. Came back to me. But his character, once he finally agrees to get him to come along, you notice the skies opened up. He, Wednesday gets Shadow to, constantly think about snow because he needs snow for whatever reason. And all that opens up and it starts coming down. And you notice that this leprechaun loses his luck, loses his power. I don't know what the relevance of that specific coin was because you see him popping those gold coins out like crazy, but for whatever reason, it's that one that he handed him.
Well, it kind of reminds me. Remember Leprechaun, the movie that came out years ago?
I don't remember
movie?
it. Yeah, I remember the movie. I don't.
But he had a pot of gold, right?
Right.
And one guy ends up taking the one piece of gold from it and ends up pretty much becoming invincible throughout the entire movie.
Really?
Right, and he at one point the leprechaun tries to run him over, and it like kind of passes through him because he's holding that coin. That coin,
I don't remember this.
Kind of because I guess the leprechaun.
There was like fucking 6 of them, wasn't there? Or something.
Well, what I'm
There's
thinking.
a whole bunch of them.
No, I get that. What I'm trying to say is I think that the leprechaun has a certain amount of coins that he's always counting. That he has a set amount. Say he has 100, right? But when he has 99, his luck is off. He has to have that set amount that he always has in order for his luck to be on. Which that kind of would make me understand why that one piece of gold is causing him to have bad luck. Like, that dude got fucked up. That was some Final Destination shit right there. Dude with the pipe for his freaking head. Yo, I was like, what just happened there, man? That just threw me right off. So, I don't know. Like, it's, it seems pretty cool. Like, I like that guy. I hope we get to see more of him. And then the end of the episode that we saw, number 3, was him digging up the grave. And then he digs up the grave and he has the wife's gone.
Yeah.
I was like,
what a fucking bitch she was.
Yo!
Oh my God.
Yo.
So spoiler alert going on here like
right
crazy. This poor guy is in prison. Shadow Moon is in prison. That's how the movie starts out. And he's like super excited to get out because obviously he wants to see his wife.
Well, right? Who wouldn't, right? Who wouldn't?
So he gets out of prison. Or, sorry, he gets pulled into the warden's office, I'm assuming is what it was, to be told that he's getting out a couple days early. And to find out the reason being is because his wife had died. So he's torn up as it is. He's getting walked back to his prison cell. And the prison guard makes a dick makes a dick
Good
comment.
news is you're getting out.
It's kind of like one of those good news, bad news things. Good news is you're getting out, but bad news is your wife's dead. I thought he was just going to smash his head in.
Oh,
I
man.
thought it was going to
So
happen.
bad.
So he gets out to find out his wife's dead, gets to the funeral, and his best friend's wife is kind of messed up. Finds out after.
Yeah, so on the way to the funeral, he finds out that his the best friend
yes,
is also dead.
yes. Wednesday
Right.
mentions it.
Wednesday mentions that, oh, hey, I guess,
you need a job,
you
yeah,
need
because he's going to give
He's
a
like,
job.
Oh, no,
yeah.
you don't. I got a friend who's Robbie's going to give me a job,
Rob,
right?
yeah.
And he's just like, well, really, that's going to be hard when he's dead. Pulls out the obituaries and has both them together dead in the car crash. And then you get to the freaking funeral, and she's just like, oh, well, da-da-da, crying and everything like that. He's like, I'm really sorry.
Oh, they made it. No, don't get ahead of yourself.
Sorry.
This woman turns around and is like, yeah, they made her look pretty, eh? Reconstructing her face and stuff like that. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, just stop. This is terrible. And then drops his bomb. It's like, yeah, at least they took the dick out of her mouth. He's like, what? And she's like, nobody told you? You didn't know? Yeah, they're both dead. They found her with my husband's dick in her mouth.
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
was
oh
wow.
my God. Ruthless.
Whoa.
Flipped the
Yeah.
script.
And she's like, don't worry. And what did she say about the dick after? She's like, don't
They
worry.
took it out or whatever.
No, she's like, don't worry. I put the dick in a safe spot or something, right? She's like, don't worry, it's still in her mouth. I'm like, what the fuck?
Ruthless.
So brutal.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
that
now
was
he's
so
not so
brutal.
sad anymore.
Yeah. But oh man, that was bad. Oh my God.
I don't know. I don't think that was in the book.
I don't think so either. But that was great. Like, that was gold right there, comedic gold right there, without even realizing.
Yeah,
You're just like,
I
oh
died.
shit, no.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And that's when I realized I was gonna like this show.
Yeah, right then and there. from a girl dying with a dick in her mouth. Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly why. I thought she choked on it when
Ladies,
she first mentioned that.
be
by the
careful.
way. I thought she choked on it. I was like, yo, good for this dude.
Yo, you know how like Snapchat has like their Snapchat feeds?
Yep.
And you can subscribe to different things now on Snapchat. I kid you not, literally yesterday,
Yeah.
there was one on there. I'm gonna see if it's still on there.
What is it, American Gods?
What? No, nothing to do with it. It's about like ways that people have actually died from sex, and one was like choking on a dick. So there's actually in the States somewhere, obviously, there's some sort of court case going on right now where this guy's trying to, say that that's what happened. It wasn't his fault. He was too big. That he didn't intentionally kill her. Blah blah blah. That she actually choked on it. So then Instagram. See, I'm fucked right now. Fuck, I need sleep. Snapchat, had one of these featured feeds that was like ways that you can actually physically die from any type of sex, and like asphyxiation from penis is one of them. So ladies, be careful with your oral sex.
Yeah, just practice safe sex, everybody.
Yeah.
Yes. Back to American Gods.
Yeah, totally off track.
Yeah. So how did you feel about the robbing scene? When the guy sits there and he's like, we're gonna rob a bank.
Yeah.
That killed me. I thought that was super funny. He
What
walks
about
in,
it
grabs
killed
a
you?
whole bunch of deposit bags or deposit slips.
Yes.
And then afterwards, he makes the guy think of Snow. And then he sits there, sits beside, puts a poster on the ATM saying "out of order," deposit box out of order, and he's like, "Here, if you just sign here." And I was like, that was genius.
Yeah.
It was genius.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great. Let's give people ideas.
I know. Thanks, America. Making the people great again, right?
Wow. You went there.
Yes, I did.
Wrong. Fake news. Didn't happen.
Totally. It was huge.
I got a friend in the industry, though.
Yeah,
It's great. He likes it.
totally.
Make a lot of money.
A lot. And I know business. Because that's what I did. I made business. I make business. I make things happen. That's what I do. Oh, man. This is what happens when two guys haven't slept properly that night. We're just so tired ourselves.
It's such a shit day at work today.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please go into your local wireless Wavejack Square and buy some phones. This is what happens.
Oh, man.
I'm off.
Oh, God.
not working.
So, speaking of awesome things that have kind of happened, have you seen the Black Lightning trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So, a little bit of sad news, though. So, it's a CW show, and it's not going to be carried over to the Arrowverse.
As it stands right now, it still can be scripted in, right?
Although
We have a multiverse in the Arrowverse, right?
I don't know if I'm feeling as like neon glowing chest lightning bolts.
He's had that already. He had that in his normal costume.
What do you mean?
Take a look at his normal costume. His normal
I
costume.
feel like he should be in a Daft Punk video.
What?
Or like Tron or some shit.
Yeah, man. He already has in all his other pictures. Like, look at him. There's his costume from back in the day, the Black Lightning. There. Look at that. Would you want that?
Man, he looks like he should be chilling with Luke Cage.
Right. But there you go. Look at that. He's got the lightning there, and it even glows.
Yeah, it looks kind of
Right.
cool. Yeah, I don't know who he is. I don't know anything about him. So,
You know what?
so please let us know.
Let's bring a little history on this dude right here. So Black Lightning is a black superhero, hence the name Black Lightning. But his name is Jefferson Pierce. He is actually a comic book character from DC Comics that came and originated back in 1977. He is part of the Justice League, the Outsiders, U.S. Department of Education, International Olympics Committee as well. Abilities: electricity generation and manipulation, limited flight, force field generation, skilled martial artist, and Olympic level athlete. Damn, that's pretty awesome. So let's go back to his biography. So, returns to his old neighborhood where his wife, blah, 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 guilt over the events. I'm trying to see where he gets his powers. He's just a metahuman. He was just born with powers. Awesome.
So, do you think they're going to possibly? I mean, that'd be a great way to kind of segue into it.
Yeah.
You have, I mean, even to get ratings, you know, it'd be such a smart idea if there was a crossover episode for his first introduction on Flash, and it's a particle accelerator incident.
That would be amazing.
Be unbelievable.
Yeah. I like how the setting.
Fucking
in
hire
there,
me,
too,
CW.
Right? Yeah. I like how the intro of the trailer, or like I guess the show's going to probably talk about this. It's going to show his past, how he was just like trying to be a superhero from the neighborhood, nearly gets killed, right? And then hangs up his mantle, and then becomes a principal for a school, which is pretty awesome. So it's like he has it in the background. So like what I was saying like earlier, it could have the possibility of maybe being a crossover series of sorts with the Arrowverse, because of the fact that everything with Arrow has kind of happened in the last 6 years, right? Whereas this has happened 10 years. He's hung up his mantle, I think it said in the trailer. So they have heard of Black Lightning, but they have no idea who he is and what he looks like, because it's been so long since he's been, a vigilante essentially. Right? So what would be cool is if they find a way to incorporate him in here and he shows back up and he's like, I've heard of you. Arrow, for example, is like, I've heard of you before, or something like that. Or and it's like, it's been a long time since we've heard any action come from you at all or anything like that. So it's great. That kind of stuff, right? And they find a way to incorporate that. But then again, it all depends if they might make this a separate universe altogether, or
I hope not.
I hope they make it the same. I hope they bring it the same. Or maybe even make it Earth 3. Because Jay Garrick's on there right now, right?
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
no, not right now, but he was from there at this point. Because he went there and then he came back and now he's in
That'd be the easiest way to deal with it.
Yeah.
And then that way there, if you want to keep it separate, but you can bob in and out too,
Yeah.
that'd be kind of cool.
I'd like that. It was good. It'd be good. Another trailer that dropped the other day was Gifted. You had a chance to check that out? I posted in the chat.
No, I didn't.
X-Men trailer. TV series.
I heard about it. I saw pictures. I haven't watched the trailer. Tell me about it, please.
Well, the trailer follows a couple kids that end up having superpowers on their own, and then one looks like a nerd, the other one looks like a super kind of semi-popular kid at high school. The kid kind of looks like he has almost like Jean Grey powers, some kind of telekinesis of sorts.
Okay.
The girl, this particular second, I cannot remember what powers that she exhibited throughout the show, but it looks like that they mention the original X-Men at some point in the trailer, talking about how some of them have died and some of them have gone away and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool how they make reference to it. So it's a continuation of that. So we may see some references or some cameos of other characters that we didn't get to see in the X-Men movies. So that would be absolutely awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool if they did that. For sure.
So I'm hoping that happens. The other thing is DC needs to get their head out of their ass with their freaking movie shit. What's going on? You've been posting a bunch of stuff in our little chat there. What the hell? We finally get our first glimpse at Mira. That's awesome. Yay. Finally.
Yeah, that suit looks
Flash
hot.
has another setback yet
Kinda
again.
looks like Rita.
Kind of,
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Well, being that she is an Aqua woman.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks good. I don't know. So we got the front runners for... what is it? Is it Flash? Yeah, it was Flash. So you got the front runners are the guy who did Back to the Future, guy who did what am I thinking of?
What? You have a guy who does obviously the Back to the Future one, and there's the last one you sent me a post for. Let me just go back to right now.
Yeah, you have it, don't you?
Yeah. So
I just can't fucking think right now. Like I said, my brain is turned off. Drawing blanks. It's crazy. I don't want him to be the one to do it. Spider-Man 3? No, the Spider-Man trilogy.
Yes.
Is one of the. I think that'd be a great choice, to be entirely honest with you.
It's a tough call. The Spider-Man trilogy, isn't that Sam Raimi?
Yeah, but he had a successful run in comic book hero movies. With the exception of the third one and emo Toby.
Yeah.
We'll forgive him for that. But realistically, when you're looking on the DC side of things, they're not doing great right now. You need to have somebody who's bringing some sort of experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought at first, okay, maybe that. Who's that tell you right now?
So you got Sam Raimi, Robert Zemeckis, who did Forrest Gump.
That's what it was. That's the one
that's the other one. He hasn't landed the role yet, but he's also and then Kingsman director get Matthew Vaughn. Get Matthew Vaughn to do it.
Who's done the Kingsman?
Yes. That's yes. Get him to do it.
Okay.
Yes. The Kingsman looks so phenomenal. Have you seen the second trailer on that? I posted last time.
That was a great movie.
Oh my god.
The second one looks cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Channing Tatum looks boss in that one as a fucking cowboy. I'm excited for that, man. I know it sounds weird, but yeah, he just kills it. The reason why I like him as the cowboy, because it gives me that aspect of possibility to him being the Cajun freaking Gambit. Because he's supposed to play that role. And if I can hear his accent as a cowboy, it's kind of got that cowboy twang, almost kind of has that southern Louisiana vocal or speech in there.
Yep.
So if I can hear him do that very well, then damn, it's be just sign him up to freaking do Gambit, please. Because we need it. We need a Gambit movie.
So on and off.
I know.
For years now. It's
Yeah,
not
man.
even funny. He wanted to do it, but
Oh, I know. That's why I'm like, please.
yeah.
Be so good. Do it. Just do it. Just do it. Oh man. So you watching anything else at all or anything like that? What's been catching your eyes lately?
Man, I don't know if you want to talk about Flash, but
So yeah, you know what?
we
Let's do
mentioned
it.
CW. I
We'll
mean,
mention it. Let's do it.
holy shit. So I got a call from Spads
Yep.
with a theory that I totally agree with to most of the extent, and I have
Yeah.
some questions for you as well.
Cool.
So this last episode of Flash was fucking crazy.
Intense.
Super intense. Spoiler alerts ahead. So this was the episode that basically brought everything into fruition. The final countdown on when Iris was supposed to die, or well, she does.
Yeah. So we know that Iris is supposed to die. This was the episode that she does.
Yeah. So we have a Barry Allen who is tripping out. So let's talk about the oh my god scenes and the what the fuck moments, if I can bring it back.
All right.
So they've all got a glimpse of how things actually physically happen, and they've been trying so hard this entire time to change things. So it's different. Nothing's worked. So there's a point where Iris and her father are sitting there talking, and Iris takes her ring off and says, "Give this to Barry." And I'm sitting there like, no, you stupid bitch. That's exactly what happened when you saw it in the future. You didn't have your ring on. So why would you change that? Or why wouldn't you change that? Why would you not keep your ring? Right?
I
Did
didn't
you notice
even
that?
realize that. Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, fuck,
Yo.
no, keep it on.
I remember that.
So that was a
now.
moment where I was like, really? Okay. So brought back one of your favorite villains as well, King Shark, as well as mine. So let's talk about that scene for a second. We're now inside of Argus. So let's rewind a little bit for a second. So we are reintroduced to
Captain Cold?
No, well, not necessarily, but HR's face-changing device
Yes.
to get into Argus.
Yes.
He kind of changes his face to look like, what's her name?
Oh my God.
Diggle's
Laura?
wife.
Yeah.
Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
She was a total bitch right off the bat. Didn't want to help them because she doesn't trust Barry anymore. Whatever. So they use her face with that device to sneak into Argus. Now, did you notice when they walked in and they saw the names on all the different cells?
Yep.
Barry brought up Suicide Squad. Oh, this must have been where she kept her Suicide Squad. Kind of cool, but there was something else in that scene that really caught my attention. Did you notice on the cell who was in the last one, I believe it was that they passed? Cheetah.
Yep.
And I got excited.
Yep.
And I'm like, wait a minute. And I was talking to Josh. I'm like, she's a Wonder Woman essentially villain.
Yep.
/ Justice League villain.
Yep.
So is this something we can look forward to?
It's a
and
possibility.
I really, really hope it is. So then they get into this chamber and they see this power source that they need to generate the Speed Force bazooka. And then to not later find out that King Shark is guarding this thing.
Yep.
Amazing. Really cool to see him again. So they steal this thing. They get it to what's her name?
Before we get to the stealing part, I love how they're talking about the door, the lock, security, all that kind of stuff, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's da 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 da." They name it off, and Cisco's like, "Oh my god, da 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 da," names it off too, and then literally they cut back, and he's like, Captain Gold's like 34 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm getting rusty.
I like how they
yes.
showed his intelligence and his humanity as well.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. So they get this. So fast forward now, because I'm trying to really remember the episode. But at the end of the day, what happens? We have the lead up to the final scene. Okay. You have a conversation between Cisco and HR. HR is being a little baby.
Oh, no.
There's something I should have been able to do because Iris got.
Yeah, she's gonna get killed.
She's gonna get killed. And you know what I mean? So he has a conversation with him, and Cisco's reassuring him, listen, man, it could happen to any of us, yada yada yada. We thought it was Barry. And he's kind of down, and doesn't think he doesn't think he's contributed anything to the team. So we're left with this impression that he might do something.
Very
That's
true.
the way that I saw it.
Very true.
And then you got your Caitlyn Cisco fight that we never saw the end of it.
Yep.
Or how that prevailed. But I think most importantly, thinking about it now, there was a conversation between Caitlyn and Savitar. And she walks into the room and she's like, oh, look, it's Caitlin and Barry working together again. And he just gives her this dirty look and is like,
Yeah.
I'm not Barry. You're not Caitlin. And you see the look in her eye and the way she reacted. And he even calls her out.
Yeah. It's almost like she slowly started to regain some of her humanity again.
Yeah.
So there's a chance that fight could just be just a simple distraction. And then he could be like, all right, Cisco can probably convince her a little bit. Right, there could be some talking that happens, and then she changes back over to the good side and helps save them in the end.
Well,
that's
and
something that
you
could
know
be
what?
somewhere.
I think that's what happened. I think Caitlin's actually part of what happened and why they're going to get out of this. So my theory is this, and Josh brought it up to me, and then we built off it, and I knew you guys had a conversation. Mm-hmm. But in the final scene, you see Savitar stick the spike through Caitlin. Here I go again.
Iris.
Thank you. And she drops Barry this super dramatic slow motion run, grabs her, but Savitar just vanishes.
Mm-hmm.
So the theory, and again, people I've noticed online are also coming up with this theory that because they've introduced us in the start of the episode to that face changing mechanism, I think that was used again. Yeah. And I think it was actually HR, as well, Josh brought it up. It was his theory, and I agree with him, that it was actually him, and that's why Savitar disappeared.
Yeah. So I built off that theory.
Yeah.
And what I built off was, which would make sense if this worked out, was that so HR, that is the doppelganger, is future HR, right? So in that current timeline, we have Wally West, who's injured on the on his medical bed.
He got fucked up.
Right, he got fucked up. His leg's broken. Right. We also have HR probably could have a conversation with him, saying, "Look, I was the one who messed this up. You know, you should be almost healed by now with your super speed. Is there any way maybe we can go back in time?" Yep. He knows that is an agreement between HR and Wally West, because HR can't have a conversation with, past Flash or current Flash, because future Flash will know the idea, which is, Savitar. So he has this conversation, talks to him about it, goes back in time with the help of Jesse Quick, slingshotting him back in time, because we don't know who the fuck Jesse Quick is, which I think that was stupid.
I don't think she's part of the equation.
But I think she would be. This is my theory would make her a part of the equation, and she slingshots him back into time with HR. HR uses the doppelganger recognition, goes to Earth 2, swaps out Iris from there, says Savitar is going to be here any minute. Wally, I'm sorry, but you're going to break your leg. You have to go along with everything that's going to happen. It's going to be painful, but this is for the best. And they do that. Right? And hence why in one of the flashbacks, Harrison Wells is probably on the rooftop with the gun. Which
I
in
think
this
that's
one,
exactly
Joe West,
who it is, yeah.
Right? Joe West is also in this scenario is on the roof with the gun in the scene.
Now, did you notice as well after it happened, Joe? I don't know about you, but if I had a daughter and I just saw her get killed like that, I'd be freaking out. And the look on his face was kind of like,
in the preview, you see him collapse and roll with tears.
Oh,
for the next
okay.
episode.
For the next one, yeah.
He was just so shocked that it happened. As you see him hit the ground on the rooftop, he's tears are flowing. He's breaking down. He's crying. It shows that. But it also shows Savitar opening up a wormhole to some it looks like a wormhole, and he's like, now I become a god, with Caitlin Slow overlooking.
Really?
That happening.
Okay, I haven't seen this preview, but here's my thing. I love our theory. A lot of people are agreeing with it, even online, that I've noticed. But the problem with the theory is this. So Savitar once said, a couple episodes ago, I believe it was, that she needs to die in order for me to exist.
Yeah.
So if it turns out that wasn't her, he vanishes. He's wiping himself out. But that's what would happen.
Because if Wally was to go back in time, switch the bodies with new HR, with future HR, right?
Right.
At that point in time, when Savitar goes running away, he would realize that something's wrong, and at that point, it would be like, what the hell? And he's like, recognition comes out. Future HR's in the arms of Barry, right?
But that would wipe him out of existence.
No, it wouldn't, because the present HR is at Star Labs. Do you see what I mean?
I think I'm getting a little confused.
Okay, so present HR is at Star Labs, moping over the whole situation.
Regardless, though, of HR or Harrison Wells, it's Iris.
No, I get that.
Right?
So the only way that future Barry knows where Iris is if somebody tells the present Barry or current, Savitar. Okay? Mm-hmm. So what happens is you have Wally West go into the past, with or go to Earth 2 or whatever. Go into the past with HR. Swap out the bodies or swap out irises with the facial recognition. He's sitting on Earth 2. Okay? So you have Wally West, HR, Harrison Wells,
Right.
and Iris on Earth 2 in the particle accelerator room.
Sure.
Okay? Or whatever that room is they have that they travel between worlds.
Yeah.
So at that point, Wally West takes current Iris, real Iris, back to Earth 1, hides her and stashes her at Star Labs, right? And during that time, present Harrison Wells, or HR, doesn't know what's going on because Iris is already with Flash. Iris is already with Savitar because Savitar has come to Earth 2, kidnapped Iris, and taken her back over to Earth 1. So in that moment, that's like you draw this out an entire episode because like the last 20 minutes of the episode, you can have the climax where he does the exact same motion, kills a person, and then as he comes out, the facial recognition drops down, or like the doppelganger fucking cloaking thing drops down.
Yeah, but then Joe wouldn't break down in tears like you said.
He wouldn't at this point in time because it alters the timeline. Do you know what I mean? Like, or it could have taken a little while for it to happen. So Barry would have her in her or him, not realizing it's him until it fizzes out, and Savitar realizes as he's running through the Speed Force, he just disintegrates.
Yeah.
Joe West comes up and looks over and goes, "What's going on?" Because Barry starts like, "What's happening?" Joe West comes over, wipes his tears, sees the body, and it's not actually him; it's HR. And that's when they, they're like, "What happened?" Whatever, whatnot. Wally's like, "Don't worry, HR's safe." That was future HR. That whole timeline, that whole line, gone now because it wouldn't exist. Because now the mourning period wouldn't happen. All the talks and everything like that of how to fix the problem wouldn't happen. So it would be a great way to kind of take an entire episode and then slowly merge it to the exact same thing with getting rid of Savitar at the exact same time. And then the Philosopher's Stone would drop out of Savitar's hand while he's fizzing out or something like that, and they'd end up taking the fucking Philosopher's Stone, bringing it to Argus, because everything goes to Argus at some point.
Yeah.
So, little things like that, right? So I think that could be a great way to finish off the episode. I would satisfy me knowing that would happen, because how are you going to beat someone who's faster than you at this point?
Well, they found his weakness. They found a weak spot.
Yeah.
They capitalize on that.
Yeah, but one time. And then they can't capitalize on it anymore.
So what do you think is going to happen next episode?
Anything that Barry thinks of,
yeah,
Savitar knows. So he can't know. And this is the stupid part, which is what kills me, is why don't they make plans without Barry in the room?
Well, they did once.
Once. But every time they've made plans, they've always included him. Get him out of the mix.
Yeah.
Just, dude, like, you know you're the one who makes it's your future version of yourself. You know that you're anything you think of.
Man, I thought that scene where they showed him actually, so when something happened, it showed Savitar, and he's like, hold on a minute. And then he saw what was happening. He's like, let them take it.
Yeah.
I thought that scene was dope.
Yeah, it was.
So I think what's going to happen next episode, I think they're going to try and keep it simple. I think Harrison Wells is going to be the one that's there. Mm-hmm. And I think he's going to help them fix that Speed Force bazooka.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably how it's going to end. They're going to trap him in the Speed Force now that the thing's fixed.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense that way.
Yeah.
But then again, they could also change it because that is what happened originally with Savitar. And the whole idea is to change this entire timeline from that not happening again. Because if it happens again, it's just going to be a time loop. Constant time loop, right? So the idea essentially is to get rid of Savitar from existence.
I think it's what happens in the comics, isn't it?
I don't know. I have to read it. I haven't checked it out.
Yeah, I think my new man was telling me that.
Your new man?
Yeah. Dude, he's a huge Flash fan.
Yeah?
He's got a big collection of comics and stuff like that. He showed me.
Who's my new man?
No, my store.
Oh, your store?
Yeah. My new guy.
Who's your new guy? Oh, really?
Dude, huge Flash. He's a huge... I actually was going to see if he wanted to come on.
Trevor?
Trevor, yeah. He's a huge fan. He took pictures. I lent him my Batman Beyond.
Yo, get him over here, man. We gotta get him on an episode. That'd be awesome.
Today we were talking about theories and stuff like that. And that's actually what he told me, is that originally in the comics, that's how things are done. So,
yo, I gotta have a conversation with this guy.
I told him about you.
Yo, seriously, that's awesome.
He actually has a lightning bolt Flash tattoo.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, you white boy for getting one before me. Damn.
Well, that's you. You're scared.
I know, I am scared. What can I say? Oh, man. Oh, that's awesome, though. Seriously. That's so cool.
Man.
I didn't think he was into that stuff.
Yeah, he's got a good collection.
Yeah. Man, you know who was I talking to today, actually? I was talking to somebody today about you. They were, I can't remember who was.
It's a guy or girl?
That was a guy. No, they were. I think it was Alan. Alan was asking me about who the pod. Yeah, it was Alan.
Okay.
And he was like, we were talking. He's like, James, really? He's into all that kind of stuff? I'm like, yeah, man. You'd be surprised. Well, the last couple of years, he got into it a lot more, especially with my, me helping him and stuff like
it's
that.
all
right?
your fault.
Right? And like he's really knowledgeable in regards to what we have, so it's really good. I was really happy to have him on board, and this man did a couple cosplay, looked sick with his cosplays, and and Alan was really, he's like, wow, really? Seriously? I'm like, yeah, man, it's really cool. I'm really happy to have him on the show, and I think me and him together, we definitely we bring a good team. We bring a good vibe to the show, It's great. And I'm really happy with, like, what you do with research-wise. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know something, so you'll sit there and you'll pull up a whole little blurb on quick little cliff notes on a bunch of stuff, so that way it adds more depth to, background stuff. And because a lot of stuff that I'll be listening to or reading from my past, I may not remember. And you pull it up, and I'm like, oh, yeah, there's that.
Yep.
Like, oh, yeah, there's that.
I start it, you finish it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a Kobe and Shaq situation. I love
Absolutely.
it. Yeah, man. So I like that. Thank you very much, man. Honestly.
Well, yeah.
Appreciate that, man.
Boom.
So yeah, man. We're coming up closer to the end of our show.
Yeah, we're at about 53 minutes.
53 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I need to sleep.
right. So yeah, I guess if you guys want to check it out, definitely check out American Gods. It is available on Stars right now, or other means of possible viewing things that I'm not allowed to speak of. Ding. But the other anime show I also suggested was One Punch Man. If you haven't checked it out, absolutely hilarious. It's a grown-up Kaiju with superhuman abilities and strengths and such. He's just an awesome fighter, and he's a little stupid, but he's funny. You'll love him. And then if you haven't checked out the new trailers for Gifted, check it out. Gifted, as well as Black Lightning, the new CW show that's going to be coming on. Also, honorable mention, I guess you can say, Arrow. Did you see the pictures for the new episode that's going to be coming out, finale?
Deathstroke
so I guess Deathstroke is
Yep.
back. Also, Captain Boomerang.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
I just saw that picture just literally an hour ago. I was like,
it'll be a
it's
crossover.
the same guy from before.
Right, but is it going to be a crossover?
I don't know if it's gonna be a crossover. It's a
Gotta
finale,
be.
right? It's a finale.
So what?
Yeah, but it's a finale, man.
Who cares?
Eh.
Do it. Do it.
Eh. It's probably not going to be a
Did you
crossover.
watch Arrow?
No,
this week?
I got to
No,
catch up.
I'm going to
on
watch it tonight.
Same here. And then so that's pretty sick. So I'm excited to see that. I'm like I guess because of the mention of Suicide Squad, they're now allowed to bring other characters from Suicide Squad or the Rogues into play.
Screw that, man. Let's
Now that everything's
I don't
been
know.
separated from like DCMU
Cheetah.
to TV DCMU, whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm happy for that. So yeah, definitely. If you guys haven't checked it out, check it out. But on a different note, guys, we're going to be heading out soon. So next week we will not be having a show because both I and our beautiful producer, the Viking, a.k.a. Kelly Welsh, are going to be at Anime North. So definitely check us out over there, guys. If you're going to be tuning in and you want to get some pictures, we're going to be doing some videos and questions out there, checking out people in their awesome costumes. Anime North is in Toronto at the Toronto Convention Center. So look for us, and maybe we could showcase you in our video for the page, okay? But then again, going into that, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow on the North of Nerdy YouTube page, as well as Facebook Nearly Nerdy or Facebook North of Nerdy. Okay, again, like, subscribe, and follow. Also share. Just share it to everybody else as well if you like what we talk about and stuff like that. But yeah, anyways, I'm AJ.
Mr. J.
We out.
Peace.